Welcome back, everyone. Episode number 9. I'm here with Dax again. We're here from Next-Gen Nutrition with another inspirational, motivational, next-generational podcast.
Happy to make the reel.
How are you, Dax?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm great.
Yeah?
A little cold. I did bring a jumper, but I just couldn't be bothered putting it on.
I think it's not too bad today. Not too bad at all.
This light's that bright that it keeps you warm. It's all the heat coming off.
So today we're going to touch on a subject that I think affects a lot of people at some point in life, sometimes day to day, sometimes week to week, whatever it might be, and it's fear. And when we talk about fear, it's not kind of like we're talking about fear of like sharks or drowning or anything like that. It's kind of the fears that you can face in day-to-day life. So last night we were trying to think of a topic which we could cover to help you guys out there. And we Googled the top 10 fears that hold people back. And we thought we would show these, we'll talk through them and give our input on how we would deal with these sort of fears if they came into our world, I guess. So when we Google the top fears that hold people back, it gave us a good little list. So the first one is fear of change. The second one is fear of loneliness. The third one is fear of failure. The fourth is fear of rejection. Then we've got fear of uncertainty, the fear of something bad happening, the fear of getting hurt, and the fear of being judged. So
a couple of them go hand in hand, really.
100%.
Yeah.
And they're all, I think they hit the nail on the head. Like that is literally when you talk to someone about starting a gym plan, a diet plan, a business, something that they're passionate about, they're usually scared of something in this list.
Yeah?
Yeah. So fear of change. Why do you think people are scared of change?
I feel like a lot of people get stuck, or not stuck, get set in a certain way.
They get comfortable.
They get comfortable in a certain way. And that can obviously progress. You could, there's things coming like job opportunities could progress from where you're at, or they have a fear of going backwards, right? And I guess that can happen in like every day. If we're talking about someone that's running a business or maybe they're training and they're sort of happy, they're stuck in their way how they look. But if you were to maybe try this, like you could progress, but they're a fear of going.
They don't want to change. They're happy in their routine.
They're happy in their routine.
Yeah.
So not necessarily a bad thing, I guess, but if there's an opportunity comes which could advance, well then that becomes a negative.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. I think if opportunity knocks at the door, you've either got to answer that door or just leave it shut and stay upstairs. You know what I mean? Like, if you're too scared of change that it's going to hold you back and stop you from living your life, are you really living?
But also too, and I guess why that's a fear, some things when you do change from your set routine can fuck it up.
Yeah.
So it's sort of caught.
Yeah.
I guess we're talking business wise, if there's make a change and you progress and things get a lot better, then obviously that's a win.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then you just go back to your old way.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've had to change heaps of things along the way.
Yeah,
some things have worked, some things haven't.
Yeah.
But through that, you don't know unless you go down that little bit of change and you experiment with that change and see if it works. Like for some people, it might be that they feel stuck in their current place that they live, so they want to move away, but they're too scared of change. So I think it's good that you explore these avenues and obviously stay comfortable in where you are and don't put yourself out of into a position that you can't sort of get yourself out of. But change is good. Yeah. Change can sometimes be exactly what you need to 100%. Get back on track, or it might put you in another trajectory of your life. So,
if you're stuck in your ways and everything's going really, really well, and you're happy, you financially you're okay, your health is good, do you think that you need to change?
Maybe not.
Yeah. So that's where you got to think. Well, should I have a crack in changing something or not? Which comes down to the individual.
Yep.
Sometimes you're pushed into making a change. And that's when you sort of need to give it a crack.
100%. The second one is fear of loneliness.
Okay.
I guess that's a big one. It's I can understand why people would feel this way.
Yep.
100%. And I think it's hard at the moment, or it's hard in society because it's so set in ways that by the time you reach 25, you should be looking to get married. By the time you reach 30, you should have 2 kids. By the time you reach 50, you should have your mortgage paid off. And, you know, people get so trapped in that mindset where everyone has their own piece that plays out. And you shouldn't feel like you have to abide by these rules just because someone else has done it, someone else has said it. It doesn't mean it's for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I personally don't think that anybody should be lonely. If you feel lonely, it's a pretty of a shit thing to feel. I think a lot of people have felt that at some stage in their life. But sometimes being lonely can make you a stronger person.
100%.
If you're always doing this, doing that, you're with somebody, you're not with somebody, and your life's like this, and you're not really progressing, and then all of a sudden you become, let's just say we're talking about a relationship, become single, and you're like, fuck, I'm just going to narrow this down, work on myself, push where I want to be in life, work for a couple of years, and and at that point you're lonely, but you're building up to something, then that can be a good thing.
100%.
You know what I mean? I don't feel like anybody should really live their life feeling lonely. I think that's a bit of a sad word, but also there is an advantage if you're going to progress.
Yeah.
If you're lonely and you're sitting there and you're in your own house every weekend, you're flicking through Instagram, you're wishing that I was doing this, wishing I was doing that, and you're not going anywhere, that's not a good thing. You've got to get around a group of friends or a group of people that are going to help uplift you and advance you in life.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think that's important too, what you said. Like if you're just sitting around the house feeling lonely, have you reached out to a mate? Have you gone out and tried to meet some people? There's a million things that you can do not to be lonely as well.
100%.
So I think that's important.
How many people have you seen that have been stuck feeling pretty bad about themselves, have joined a gym, joined a CrossFit gym, and then you know what, that community community in a CrossFit gym is like no other.
Yep.
Like they just lift and build people up, and they're training hard, and they're high-fiving, and you just see it. The people, sometimes when you're lonely and you go to a gym and you're just going through your weights, it's still a lonely phase.
But that bounces back to what we just spoke about, change.
Yeah.
If they're sitting at home, they don't currently train, or they haven't signed up to a gym, there has to be that change that then they go to the gym.
That's right.
Then
that's what I'm saying. These things these goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably why we've come up with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is a massive one. I think everyone feels this and fears this. It's fear of failure.
Yep.
Fear of failure, and obviously this can be failure of starting something new. It can be, if you're starting a new business or a new diet plan or just anything. You just feel so many people talk themselves out of doing something because they're like, oh no, I just don't think it'll work. But you don't know. You haven't made that change to go and try something new and see if it works. And if it fails, who cares? How many times have we failed over the years?
Plenty.
We have failed so many times. I probably failed 20 times this week, but some are big, some are little. But you learn. Every time you fail, you learn. And without those failures, it wouldn't make you, where you are at the end. Where I am now, I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't failed, if I hadn't have fucked up or whatever it might be. I wouldn't have learned those lessons to get me to where I am now. And it builds resilience. It builds character. It gives you the tools you need to get through to that next phase of leveling up, I think.
A lot of people have become very successful from failing.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we, over the years, seen UFC fighters like come out, they've lost all these fights, they're never getting anywhere, then they put it all on the line, quit their job. I mean, Conor McGregor, man, that's why I feel like a lot of people respect that bloke. He can be a dickhead, but let's be serious. He's a very well talented and successful person.
Oh man,
and if you watch his documentary, he breaks it down. He failed many things, and then he just literally quit work and full time had to go, made the change, and just dedicated himself to MMA, and told his partner stuck by him the whole time, and look where he's at now. I think he's the most most well paid sports person at the moment, even more than some of these soccer players in the world.
I don't know. I'll have to
No, I think that's a fact, actually.
I thought it was Ronaldo, but...
No, it's actually more.
Is it?
Yeah, because of his whiskey.
Actually, no, you're right. Yes, I did see that.
I always Google this shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think with those professional athletes too, like Michael Jordan's got a saying, it's I missed something X amount of game-winning shots.
Yeah.
But when you see the highlights, it makes him look like a superstar.
Yeah, of
you don't see
course.
the failures.
You don't see that. Yeah, absolutely.
You don't see the failures. You see, in McGregor's case, you see him driving around in a Lambo. You see him, with all this money.
Yeah, and then
Gucci
people are like,
suits
lucky bastard.
Yeah, lucky bastard.
He's got the right to be cocky.
100%.
He has the right to be cocky. And
Yeah.
I know I always go on about Cursor, but same sort of thing. Obviously not to that level, but that bloke, man, he never made it on radio stations. He got blocked from all that shit. And he failed a lot of the times, and then he went, fuck this, I'm going to do this myself. And look at him now. Still doesn't get any radio play. Fuck, he's worth millions. That sort of shit's inspiring, let alone his music. That's what I love about seeing with people. A lot of people are like, Kid Leroy killed it. Fuck, you got to watch his
any of
story
those
as well.
people that are unless they've won the lotto or they've been born into money, if they've literally worked their way up like most sports people have, they've failed. Like Ronaldo, incredible amounts of money, ridiculous, like all the cars you could dream of, Ferraris, Lambos, Rolls Royce, whatever. But his family was they were gypsies in Portugal. He had the same opportunities as everyone else out there. But he wanted to make that change in his life to become the superstar that he is today. So
yeah, but that is a big fear.
Yeah,
it is a big fear. Should I have a go? What if I fail? Nah, I'm comfortable with this. I don't want to have a go. It's pretty much like a sports bet.
Yeah, it's betting. You're betting. And,
literally.
But you have more control over the odds because it's you.
Oh, very well put.
Thank you.
You wrap that up. That's not where I was going with it.
I don't think, because I think this is a massive one, because so many people are just scared of starting something because they feel like they're going to fail. Just start. If you fail, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Rejection is the next one. Fear of rejection. I mean, fuck, we get rejected every day, pretty much. Like, if you're talking to a customer about helping them with a product and you believe in that product so much it'll help them, they're like, nah, I'll just grab this one. You're like, okay, no worries. Or
it's a product that you use yourself, and a lot of customers or friends have used this product and it's worked very well for them. And you're very passionate about talking about products like we are, and they're like, no, I don't know about it. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Or, I mean, say, we this is a constant battle. So we want to level the business up to the next level, and we need to get some finance to level it up. And we go to the bank, and they're like, no, you can't get that much. Okay. Does that mean that we stop? No. There's a million ways to get around rejection. I think if you get rejected from something, that's just the first sort of slot. And there's a million other slots that can get you through that next level. But
it could be back when you were 14, 15 in a blue light disco, and you're sitting there and you think, I want to go kiss that girl, and you ask a friend, what about that? And he looks at you, nah.
Never happened, bro.
yeah. Look over, and she has a look, nah. Oh, sweet.
What dance moves did you used to do?
I don't know.
Give us a little something.
No. I didn't dance. I think we just waited for like a sort of a heavy beat song to like a bit of a mosh. It was like a spider beat or something like that. Green spoon. That was, I feel like discos were something else.
Oh, they were.
We were always like looked down upon from all like the Lizero and Arimba boys. Like we were surfies. Well, we were surfies, but we'd turn up to the Gosford ones and they'd be like, look at these surfies, blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck. And I'd play footy against them like every weekend. We're sort of mates, but they hated us when we get to those things.
You really hung on to that over the years, haven't you?
Absolutely. I could drop some names. I don't know where you guys are in this life, but thank you for threatening me when I was a kid.
So I think with rejection, you shouldn't fear being rejected. It sucks. It knocks your ego, but I think it humbles you as well.
Well, that's the thing, right? If you don't fear it, like a lot of people, they fear rejection, they get rejected. Fuck, I'm going to have a go again. Get rejected. May happen the third time, they're like, fuck, I'm done. Like that's a lot of people will put their hand up and surrender after being rejected many times.
It happened to us. I went to every bank in Fountain Plaza trying to get us a loan that time.
Yeah.
And I got rejected. Literally, nah. It was like, I sat down with everything and they're like, nah, it's not happening. Not happening. Like every bank in Fountain Plaza, 6 banks.
Yeah.
But we didn't stop just because I got rejected 6 times. We were like, all right, well, let's pivot, and what's the next course of action? All right, let's start smaller and build, and you'll eventually get there.
Yeah.
The fear of uncertainty. This is a big one because the fear of uncertainty ties directly into anxiety. because being anxious about something is worrying or fearing about something that hasn't happened. And so many people are anxious these days. They suffer from anxiety. But when you're talking about anxiety, it's fearing of something that hasn't actually happened yet.
Yeah.
Depression is when you dwell and live in the past. That's why everyone says you need to live in the moment, because in the moment you have complete control. Everything is fine in the moment. You're not stressing about that thing that hasn't happened yet. You're not stressing about or getting down about the thing that's happened in the past. I think when you take a step back and you live in the moment, that's when the fear of uncertainty sort of levels itself out, and you should be able to take a breath and know that in this moment you're fine and tomorrow's a new day.
Well put.
Yeah.
When I think of uncertainty, I think I think straight away just think of business.
Business, yeah.
Opening another store. Feeling of, is it going to work? Are we just going to blow a whole lot of cash? Has that happened? Yes.
Yeah.
It has happened to us.
Lost a lot of money.
We've had mates that have opened things and they had a crack and it didn't work. And they were fearing, is this going to work? They're uncertain if it's going to progress and make money. They still had a crack, but a lot of people won't go forward and do it because their fear of
failure.
Yeah. That's right.
It's like every point, like you
That's
said,
what I mean. They
ties
all
into
link
each
in.
other.
They all link in with each other. They all make total sense. But yeah, uncertainty, the feeling of uncertainty is a killer. Because once you get so riddled with anxiety, it can just take hold of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when going to talk to someone would help.
100%. Yeah. And I think
good podcast to listen to. Hopefully you listen to this one.
Go for a walk. Like, all those things will help keep you grounded in that moment.
Listen to people that have been there and done it before.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Like, there's all these like business coaches and stuff. Like, I would take way more out of someone that's actually maybe even had a business, and even if it failed, I would rather talk to them than someone that hasn't had a business and rattling off something that they read in a book. You would get so much more knowledge out of that.
Absolutely.
This one ties pretty much into uncertainty. It's something bad's going to happen. I mean, it's anxiety.
Just going back on that story. Jeff Jowlett.
Yeah.
That bloke, if you can follow that guy on Instagram, Jeff Jowlett, that bloke is an absolute legend. He's that guy, and he'll admit, he says it all the time. He was the creator of body trim. Remember body trim?
Yeah.
Body trim, Jeff and body trim. Yeah. Right, and I still talk to him, like a little bit on Instagram.
Guys, get one now, and we'll not only go in the body
He
trim.
made absolute millions of body trim, right? Killed it. What happened? It all turned to shit. He got addicted to drugs and alcohol and wasted all the money. Then he started another business. Absolutely killed it. Went sober. What happened? Got hooked on drugs and alcohol again. Went absolutely rock bottom. Now, he's alcohol and drug free for 4 years. And he's got great podcasts. He does online coaching. And he on his Instagram, listen to his videos. They're absolutely... I share him a little bit. You watch it and you're like, fuck, this bloke's absolutely nailed it. He's so good to listen to.
But you know why? Because he's failed.
And he admits it. He admits all the issues he's had. He's done it. He's been a millionaire. He's been poor. He's been addicted to drugs. And now he's just out there to just purely help people. Jeff Jowlett, I'm telling you, get onto. He's absolutely amazing. Aussie bloke in Sydney. Loves animals. Got 2 little dogs. Heaps of horses. Cows. He's a good bloke. But he's an absolute success story from up here to rock bottom, then back up, then back again. Now he's nice and leveled out. It's perfect. He's a perfect example.
Yeah. And you guys, you can use Dax's code on his website, Daxten.
I was waiting for it. He
sounded like you were trying to sell it.
I've never paid him $1.
I'm only joking. That code won't work, I don't think. The fear of getting...
tagging him in this.
The next one is the fear of getting hurt. Again, I think this, like you said, it ties into that rejection.
Yep.
It sucks. The fear of getting hurt. But sometimes when it does happen, I guess you'd be talking relationship-wise here. When it does happen, give it 6 months, 12 months, and you look back and you're like, you know what? Maybe that person wasn't right for me because of these things. Like time, like it's true, time heals all wounds, but it gives you time to reflect. And when you're in that moment with someone and everything seems amazing, it feels like the whole world's going to crash and burn because you guys are splitting up. you're looking at it so emotionally that this is the end of the world. There's never going to be anyone else in the world that you're going to meet. But 12 months down the track, you can look back and go, you know what? I didn't like when that person did X, Y, Z. I didn't like how that made me feel. I'm so happy that I've come out of this side of it. I can't see myself with that person at the moment. I'm with this new person that I've met, and it just it opens up a whole new lane for you. So.
Yeah.
Have you been hurt, Dax?
Oh,
This is a safe space. We can talk about it. Yeah. All right. And the last one. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
I've never heard you talk so leveled.
What do you mean?
Corey, get the estrogen pills out. Tara's having a meltdown.
Dax is crying. All right. And the last one, I think this is one of the biggest ones because it covers pretty much everything. Social media, business, fitness, anything in life. It's the fear of being judged.
Yeah, that's a ripper.
Like, it's so true because, like, you can do things and in the back of your head, you're like, oh, I wonder what people are going to think about that. Or there's so many things that I would like to say on social media, but I hold myself back from them.
Of course.
Because I don't want to be judged. 100%. I'll put my hand up for that. I would be so much more blunt. If I didn't have the businesses and I had to be sort of careful about what I said, I would be so much more blunt. Like, so much more blunt. But... yeah, it's hard because you could say these things and while they might be true, you have to worry about how that's going to make someone feel and how that person is then going to judge you and then judge your business. And there's so many different things that come into it. But I think as a sort of trivial thing, you shouldn't be... being judged by someone you shouldn't affect if you do or don't do something.
Yeah, that is just so right about the Instagram thing. Like now when I post something that's not like... it may be like a saying or something. And something like, you're right, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm sweet.
I just like the saying.
I like, yeah, where, I'm sweet. But I always said there's probably going to come a day where one of us might absolute snap on Instagram.
I've been close, man. I've been so close.
And just let loose.
I have been close.
Like, and that is like, we couldn't there's a lot of things we can't openly talk about because we will be judged on it and we don't want to look like shit people. Do you know what I mean?
There's this new guy I've been looking at on YouTube. I found him through the spiral of YouTube. He's called Andrew Tate. And he's a fuckwit, but he's a legend at the same time because he says it exactly how it is. But on the flip side, he's got all the money you could ever want. Yeah. So why would you care what?
And
people
I mean, saying
think?
this, we wouldn't rant there and burn people and go off at people.
Nah.
We would just completely say what we wanted to say and speak some truth about certain things that's happened to us or whatnot, and that would create a shitstorm. Yeah. So we don't. That's all right.
Usually when that happens, we call each other and we go.
That's right. And then I know there's a lot of people in the same boat.
Yeah.
Sometimes
because everyone's so sensitive these days.
That's the thing. Like you may see one of your mates who he owns a business and he'll just lose it. I could name the guy's name and who I'm talking about. And then like someone sends you a story, bro, look at this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, just let it go, bro. Like he's just openly talking. And yeah, but I guess as well, being judged, let's just talk about someone that's wanting to openly talk on Instagram about what they want to do, training wise, this, that, and they're probably afraid to even openly speak about it because they don't want people going, oh, fuck, this guy's doing this, or look at that, look how good he thinks he is on or she thinks he is on Instagram. So they don't do it. They're afraid of being judged. And there's a lot of people who don't give a shit, which is cool. As long as you're not hurting anybody and it's just for yourself, fucking do what you want. But people will sit back because they're afraid of being judged.
People will always judge you. Like we've had to hold back on some successes that we've had because we're like, we don't want people to judge us based because they don't. The problem is with those people that are judging you, they're people that think that they deserve something for doing nothing. Yeah, like we started this with nothing. Yeah. And have grown it into something. It's not where we want it to be, but it's on the way to where we want it to be. So why should we? It's hard not to celebrate the wins on the way, but we've come to the point now where we celebrate them internally.
People will look down on you and dislike you for being successful. That's the honest truth. It is. They don't like seeing people succeed, and if they are, they're jealous. Yeah, they're right. Like we started this business from nothing, and we both had But what are you like qualified in? Like I don't even know.
Everything.
No, but like
I did my pilot's license. I did graphic design. I did PT.
that's what I mean. You could be flying bloody
Yeah.
614s or whatever they're called, making a lot of money. I was like doing PT and I was making really good money, like online coaching, blah, blah. But we both just went bang, put it aside, and we started this business earning we didn't take any money. We're not going to dive right into this again, but we literally took a massive pay cut to do this. So it's like, you know, and we've had some wins on the way, like you said, and then we don't announce it because we're like, fuck, if we do, some customers are going to like, look at these guys, think they're killing it.
Yeah.
Definitely not killing it. Neither of us even own a house.
Yeah.
We hopefully we will one day. You know what I mean? But like that is a fear of us being judged.
You know what's funny though? Like, say if I had gone down that route of becoming a pilot and you had stayed in PT, and say I was getting paid 200 grand a year, you're getting paid 200 grand a year, you buy yourself a Lambo, you post a Lambo on Instagram. Do you think those people would judge you as hard because you work in a job as opposed to being self-employed? I think they wouldn't. I think they'd be like, oh, congratulations.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny because I notice this all the time. When people like do something themselves, people judge harder.
Yeah.
Heaps harder.
Yep.
But doing something yourself is heaps harder. There's no security.
No,
like
that's right.
literally no security at all.
That's right.
So, yeah. They were I think that was a ripper. That was some the top fears that people face day to day. So if there's anything on that list that you're struggling with, I think you should just break it down, have a look, maybe even jump on Google and have a look at some points on how, you know, implementing some steps can change that. Always, you can go and chat to people, qualified people, and hopefully that sets you guys on the right path. We got some questions.
We do.
Beautiful. All right, question time. What do we got? No doubt some rippers and some serious ones.
Best takeaway options, macro breakdown wise.
Ooh, that's a good one,
You know
actually.
what? I feel like, and I'm not being a smart.
I feel like you'd be the best to answer this because you get takeaway.
No, I'm serious, man. Like, you don't love to cook.
I hate cooking, man. I can't be bothered.
Like, so if you can find a healthier option,
Just can't do that beef option that you do.
if you can find a healthier option that will get delivered to your door, then what will you go?
If I was just jump on Menulog and try and find something healthy.
Or you would drive to Fountain Plaza, or
just try and pick foods as close to what is healthy as possible. Say, like Mexican, like you get a burrito bowl. It's basically chicken and rice, minus take the cheese out. Don't have the sour cream. Don't have the avocado.
don't have the avocado. Why?
Well, it's a cardinal sin, Dax. Rice, fats. Jeez. Haven't you learned anything from yourself? I think try and get as close as you can to like a proper meal as possible.
Yeah. I look like even Thai, you can do it.
Yeah, Thai's.
I think
I didn't want to be too like.
I think
easy.
that one of the you know, if it's like you get a chicken and rice meal dish, then they float it in a hella sauce. Like, just ask for little to no sauce.
Yeah,
right. That's a better option.
Yeah.
What's that? I legit forget the name of it. Don't think I'm being a smart ass. I'm serious. No, like a Portos.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yep.
And what's the thing that Nath Lee does? What's he do?
He gets the grilled chicken from Macca's.
I'm still not a grilled chicken. That's shit house.
Yeah.
You go to a steakhouse when they get when you get a steak and it comes with like chips or veggies or salad, you could go steak and veggies.
Yeah.
And
there's a million, or steak and a baked potato, or don't be afraid to order off the norm.
How do you get calves like Gaz? I think it's just
well, he's got to support all that weight. So when you think about it, the foundation has to be strongest at the bottom.
Yeah.
So,
would Magic? Man, I swear I'm going blind. Would Magic ever sell bottled single serve products?
Eventually, but they're just expensive. Like you're looking probably at 100, well, probably more actually.
It's way more expensive than everybody thinks.
Probably about 500 grand you'd be up for. So it's like while it would be cool to do it all, like energy drinks and you know RTDs, the minimum orders are so big that your initial investment is close to $500,000.
And because we've got so many different SKUs now. It's like you got to keep on top of it.
Yeah.
Like it's all well and good to start doing RTDs, but if you by doing that means you can't reorder chocolate, vanilla, and whey time in the protein
Because your money's tied up in that,
then it's just pointless.
Yeah, you kind of need.
If people don't like these, and they're waiting for the protein.
Yeah.
If we had millions.
Yeah, if you had that like real massive amounts of money, 100%. But we're not.
Fill us in on the 2 a.m. Cornettos. You guys, Zach Jeffrey, thank you, mate. I don't know, man. I'm
going to tell you the story actually, because this one's a ripper. Me, Mike, and Dax were in Melbourne. I think Mike was competing. No, he wasn't competing because he had a Cornetto. We were at the supermarket. I grabbed the box of Cornettos. We come back to the hotel room. Dax thinking he's a hero. Mike has one. I have one. There's 2 left. Old Mr. Hero here is like, I was like, do you want one, Dax? No, I don't need that shit. Don't need that shit. Because he rubs his abs, right? Off to bed he goes. I said to Mike, I bet you we come out in the morning and that box has been absolutely murdered. Nothing left. And Dax like, nah, yous will see. Don't need that shit in my body. Come out. The first thing I did. Nah, 100%. I wish I got this on camera. I'm going to have to hit up the hotel for security footage. I came out. First thing I did, went to the freezer. Guess what's missing? The Cornetto. Guess who's asleep in bed with chocolate all over his face?
Oh, yeah.
Dax.
Well, you peeked on me, did you? The thing with me, like,
the calories don't count at 2 a.m.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also, I get up and eat during the night all the time. At home, we don't have any food like that in the house for that reason. If I wake up and it's 2 a.m., 1 a.m., whatever, and there's like a packet of Tim Tams, they're going down.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So it's like, what do I snack on now at like 2 a.m.? And it's legit like...
Peanut butter rice cake.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it.
Peanut butter and rice cake.
You would hammer that jar.
I do. Yeah. I feel like that's a better option. But it's like, I can't sleep if I'm hungry. That's why it was hard for me to get ready for shows like it is for most people. It's because I'm always fucking hungry and I can't sleep. That's the story of that. R is definitely...
I haven't ever exaggerated that either. That is the truth.
My question never gets answered publicly. Why not? That's Jake, because your questions are not allowed to be put on. They wouldn't make this podcast. Maybe when we do a uncensored,
X-rated.
Coming back from major injuries, how should I start? This question is coming. Do you remember I posted a couple of weeks back where my mate was in a really bad car crash? Yeah, that's coming from him.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen you posting videos of you playing footy and stuff, and I can see that you're getting real keen to go back into it. But like, yours was a really bad injury. You're
slow and steady.
And just work your way back. I mean, go see a physio, and let them tell you when you're ready to go back. Because like I said, your injury was pretty bad, and if you put the boots on and run out for your team wherever you're living at the moment, it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
You just chill. It was, like I said, it was a really, really bad injury. Thoughts on beef liver supplements? I've never tried them. I know a lot of people do use them. Just because they're so rich in like nutrient-dense capsules or powders or whatever they use, like your vitamins and your amino acids and etc. like that. I've never used them. I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people feel really, really good on them. More energy. A lot of people.
It's one of them things you just want to try for yourself, eh?
Yeah, better strength, etc. I know that bloke on Instagram, which I can't stand, the Liver King. He goes on about, and he actually eats raw liver and stuff. Like,
you don't have to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to do that, but yeah, give it a go. I've never done it. Yeah, that's basically what they are. There's a lot more to that, but that's energy drinks versus pre-workouts, pros and cons.
Energy drinks are usually less caffeine. If you're talking energy drinks kind of at the servo or whatever, they're usually less caffeine, so they might just give you a little bump. I guess, yeah, they're kind of two different things. Like energy drinks are just basically caffeine, maybe a little bit of nootropic.
Yeah.
Pre-workout is caffeine plus ingredients, which are going to help you train and focus and lift.
The things with energy cans, if you're using them before a workout, you're not going to get like the ingredients like citrulline and arginine and stuff that's going to give you more of a pump.
Yeah.
I don't drink energy cans. I very rarely do these days. I used to smash them. I don't drink. Ask Cam.
Really?
The white wolf cans I will drink maybe once or twice a week, but I used to smash C4. It takes me ages. I'll sit there and drink a C4 for hours and hours. I don't know what it is. They're good. We sell heaps. I'm just not massively into it. What can I take to lower my stress and anxiety after missing one leg of my multi all the time? Webby, I can only expect something like that from you. Well, you could take Restore's really good. Did you hear about that on the weekend? Yeah, I told you about my effort. That's what he's talking about. Whenever you're up and you've got a good cash out option on the sports bet, and all your mates, all your dickhead mates, write it out. Like, you'll get it, and then you fucking lose, and then you end up with $0.
Don't even.
Yeah, cash out.
It's hard, but when something's high and you don't want to sell.
Well, it was even like $900 or that Souths beat Canberra, and I was winning 2.5. Obviously, Souths got belted. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
So that's what you should take, maybe. Restore, which you already take because you're in the other day and you got some. If Brownie is the weakest human you have trained, how would you compare him to a 12-year-old girl?
12-year-old girl would smash him.
I think, a 12-year-old girl would probably be strong because they'd eat more veggies. Brownie doesn't eat veggies, so that's his weakest link. I'm not even going to say that. If you could only choose 2 supplements to use forever, what would they be?
Pre-workout protein, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I need energy to train. I need protein just for...
Forever, but only 2.
Yeah, well, what are you going to use? I would say a greens and an adrenal product.
Yes.
So you can't have any pre-workout ever. You can't have protein ever. You can only have greens and adrenal product forever.
Yeah, but the thing is, you could substitute it with other stuff. I don't have the effort in me to chop up a whole bunch of green veggies every day. I do eat veggies and salad, but not to the concentrated version of greens.
Okay.
I would probably go hard and Restore. I use pre-workout every day.
Not anymore. For that year, you won't.
How do you guys describe how you... This guy's spelling's amazing. Sorry. How do you guys describe how you've got to where you're at? Like the progression.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I don't understand what it means.
Like how it's basically saying how would we describe where we got to now from where we started and what's kept us progressing and growing.
Well, how would you describe it in one line?
No, I guess
I'd just say basically a bit of a Darrow Yobbo that's had a crack and done it right.
I'll articulate it a bit more and say...
Well, that's basically how it is.
We're both extremely passionate about what we do.
Of course. That's the only reason we've got to where we're at, because we're actually passionate about this sort of stuff.
We both love supplements, love the fitness industry.
Yeah.
I now love designing clothing and seeing people enjoy that, wearing it and getting excited when new things come in. And I love now that we've got the challenge, we can see people get mad results and come in with a big smile on their face. Right. And that sort of keeps you pushing further and further and further. If we were just a shop, I reckon it'd be boring as fuck, man.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with people enhancing their physique.
Yeah.
In the gyms, doing whatever they're doing. I always loved it. I've sat at bodybuilding shows for years and hours and watched people and have put people on stage and I love it. I was in Penrith all weekend at bodybuilding shows and got home pretty late Sunday Arvo. So it's that's a reason why we've got to where we're at. Just years of learning and loving it, really.
Yeah.
That's an easy way to put it, I think.
Yeah.
But,
that's it.
Yeah, that was the last question.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I think next week for episode 10, we're going to get a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Not sure who yet.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we should get a couple of guests. Going on from here.
Yeah.
That would be really, really good.
Yeah, we'll just have to reach out to the right people. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. If you can, just do us a massive favor. Just hit that subscribe button and just literally takes you 2 seconds and you don't have to worry about it. Give the video a like. If you've got any questions, drop them below. Hit us up on Instagram. Till the next time, we'll see you soon.